Hey guys, Young Beretta and I'm Illuminated USA here, and I wanted to do a handgun collection video. And since another YouTuber, the firearm guy, or Dan, recently has done a handgun collection video, I thought I might as well do mine. I've been planning on doing mine for a few months, but I just haven't gotten around to it until now. This is my current handgun collection. I have sold quite a few handguns that we've done videos on. I have a list of the handguns that I have sold written down right here. So the first gun on the list is the Glock 17 Gen 4 FDE. I owned that gun for about 3 years, from 2012 to early 2015. It was a great gun, and I sold it to Beretta Sr. because you really wanted it, right?
Yeah, I really wanted it because I wanted it to join my other FDE Glocks. I have the FDE and the Glock 22 and the Glock 26 in FDE, so...
In Gen 4.
Yeah, so it made sense to add the Glock 17 FDE to it in Gen 4.
Yeah. And the second gun on the list is the Beretta 92FS. That was my first centerfire handgun. I got it in 2008 after I sold my Taurus 9-shot 22 revolver. That was my very first gun. And then I got the Beretta 92FS. And that's another gun that I sold to Beretta Sr.
Yep, I added that to my Beretta collection. So I have 3 Beretta 92s and 1 Beretta 96.
And I basically sold that gun and another gun to buy the Blackwater Tactical from Beretta Sr. because I really wanted it.
Yeah, that's a very expensive pistol.
The next gun on the list is my former Ruger SR9, full size in black. That gun was a good gun, but I've just been spoiled by the triggers on the Walther PPQs and the ergonomics. And because of that, I sold basically the SR9 and the Glock 17 Gen 4 because I think the Walther PPQs are just so good that I don't need another striker-fired pistol in my collection. What do you think?
You've been taken by the Walthers for sure, and I think the total count on Walther PPQs is around 5 now in the family, so obviously we like the pistols a lot.
Yeah.
And you do shoot the Walthers better than you shoot the Glocks or the Ruger SR9 in my opinion, but
yeah,
it's a personal choice.
The next gun on the list is the Canik TP9 OD Green, the Gen 1 Canik TP9. That gun was a good gun, especially for the price that we paid for them back then. They were like $310. And we did a few videos on them, and then, again, I sold that gun because of this right here. The trigger on that is just fantastic. Don't get me wrong, the trigger on the OD Green Canik TP9 was okay, especially for the price point, but I just, you know, if I want a double action, single action pistol, which is basically what that Canik TP9 Gen 1 was, I'm sticking with my SIGs. Not to sound elitist or anything, but, you know, there's nothing like a 6-hour double action, single action transition, especially like the one right here. This trigger on this 227 SAS, as far as double action to single action, is unbelievable. It's so light, and the trigger on double action is so consistent and smooth. It's just amazing. So, I sold the Canik TP9 because of that. The next gun on the list is the Ruger SR9C Bitone. That gun was a great gun. I actually missed that one quite a bit. I sold that one to Beretta Sr., and I'm glad that he still has it because it is fantastic, in my opinion.
It has a great Ruger trigger on it. That's why I bought it. It's hard to find one that I like a lot, and that SR9C is really good. So
we have to get that one out soon again.
Yeah, we need to do a video on it.
And the next gun on the list is the Ruger SR9C Tallow Edition. That gun I had some problems with, as far as I couldn't shoot it as good as the Bitone SR9C, the trigger wasn't as good, and I didn't shoot it straight, like it was always shooting to the left or right. I don't remember how I was shooting exactly as of right now because I haven't watched the videos on that in a long time, but it just wasn't as good as the Bitone, so I got rid of it. Right?
Yeah, I think that's true. You weren't as happy with it. It's not that it was not reliable.
Yeah, it was reliable.
All the Ruger SR9Cs and full-size pistols have been reliable shooters. Yeah. It's just that you didn't shoot it quite as well as you were accustomed to shooting it, so I think you were a little disappointed in it and you decided to sell it.
Yeah. The next gun on the list is the Sky CPX-2 Bitone. That gun I had some problems with. The trigger wasn't very good, and it wasn't reliable enough for me. So
we sold them.
Yeah. The next gun on the list is the Springfield Armory XD40 Bitone. I got that gun from Beretta Sr. for my 16th birthday, and it was a great gun, but it didn't have a PPQ trigger. So I sold that gun and I purchased the Walther PPQ in 40 right here. And that gun is just amazing. I know you were a little bit disappointed when I sold that gun because you gave it to me, but do you think I stepped up?
Yeah, I think you got a better gun overall. You guys know it. I'm a big fan of the PPQ, and I think in 40 it's still a terrific pistol. You know, the mechanics and everything are the same between the 9mm and the 40 cal. So I think you got a great pistol, and you didn't have to pay a whole lot of difference after you sold the XD40. So I think it was a smart move.
Yeah. And I know you're planning on buying a 5-inch in 40, right?
I'm hoping to, yeah.
That should be a great gun.
Should be fun.
The next gun on the list that I sold was the Car CM9. And I sold that to Beretta Sr. after I shot 100 rounds through it, and I just didn't want it anymore. I wanted something else, and you bought it, and you've had it for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And you recently sold that.
Yeah, I just recently sold it. So yes, I sold the Car CM9 9mm, and I'm probably going to be picking up the Ruger LCR 357 Magnum as a replacement.
That should be a great gun.
Well, we had one for a short period of time, and some of the guys have asked in comments, you know, what happened to your guys' Ruger LCR 357 Magnum?
That you just, you know, loved, and you told it was a great gun.
Right. We talked a lot of good stuff about it, and then all of a sudden it disappeared and it wasn't in our collection anymore. Well, we liked it so much that my father-in-law was looking at getting a new gun, and before I took a chance of him buying anything else, I wanted to make sure that he was carrying something that was 100% reliable and a great revolver, and so that's where the pistol went.
Yeah, he really wanted that Ruger LCR 357 Magnum, so we gave it to him. And that is why I picked up this. Remember, because that was my gun, and after that, I picked this up. So, the next gun on the list is the 6-Hour SP 2022. I love that gun. I know we've done quite a few videos on the 6-Hour SP 2022s, and we've touted them as great 6-hour handguns with a polymer frame and half the price of the P226, and that's what they are. You know, they're fantastic guns, but I just sold mine because, you know, I sold the Ruger LCR 357, and I need some extra cash so I could pick this up, and that's basically what happened. I sold the LCR and the SP 2022 to buy this.
I still have 2 of the 6-Hour SP 2022s, one in all black and one in their desert tan. I'm still a big fan of the 6-Hour SP 2022.
I am too, but I sold mine. The next gun on the list is the F&H FNX 45. I bought that, and I thought I was going to love that gun as my first 45 that I owned, and I ended up selling it a few days after I bought it. And, you know, I kind of regret it. We never did any videos on it, you know, it just kind of went bye-bye.
Yeah, we sold it to a friend, and
yeah, who really wanted it.
And he absolutely loves it. And matter of fact, we've talked to him a couple times about borrowing it to do a video, and we haven't been able to get it out of his hands. So I think he's just a huge fan of it, and at this point he's keeping it close to his safe. So that's all good. We understand why. It seems to be a great gun, but it's a full-size 45, and, you know, is not a gun that's capable of concealed carry, where you can actually push this into a concealed carry roll if you needed to. So I can see the benefits of the Sig Sauer P227 SAS over the FNX 45 because it fills more rolls. So I think that was a smart move for you.
So I sold the FNX, and from there I bought the Glock 30 Gen 4. And that's another gun that I sold, and you know who that went to, right? Why don't you just pull it out right now and show it to them real quick?
Yeah, immediately. And that's still my EDC, guys. So young Beretta had it for a short period of time. Backstory on it is I bought this pistol right here for myself and was taking it home. And he liked it so much that he was already wheeling and dealing in the car before we got home of what he'd have to give away or sell to me or trade to me to be able to get the Sig Sauer 227 SAS. So he got the Sig Sauer 227 SAS, and I got the Glock 30 and a couple $100 in cash. I don't remember how much. Yeah. Anyway, he ended up with the Sig Sauer, and I ended up with the Glock 30, and it's been.
And you love that Glock 30.
Yeah, it's been a good trade for both of us, because you really like the Sig, and I really like this Glock 30.
Well, you guys, those are all the guns that I've sold over the last 3 years. Now we can go back to the guns that I own. Alright, so what we've got here is the 6-Hour P226 Blackwater Tactical. This gun doesn't have many rounds through it. I think it probably has like 300 rounds through, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's in really good condition still. I've kind of been babying it. And here is my like new 6-hour P225. And why I say like new is because we recently just shot a video of it. I know some of you guys were telling me not to shoot it, but I wanted to shoot it with the person who gave this to me. I did not buy this. Somebody gave it to me.
Yeah.
And right here we've got my wheel gun, the only wheel gun I own, which is the Smith & Wesson M&P 340. This is an amazing revolver. It's so lightweight compared to the LCR and all the rest of the guns in its class. You know, one reason why I bought this over the other Smith & Wesson Airweights is because I wanted the feature that I know some of you guys might give me some flack about. I wanted to be able to maybe shoot 357 Magnum out of a gun in this size. Now, not full house 357 Magnum. The only 357 Magnum that I ever plan on putting through this gun is the Spear Gold Dot short barrel formula 357 Magnum ammo.
Yeah, makes sense. That's all I would put through it. But it does a good job with 38 plus P of a variety of different makes. Yeah, you shot them really well in that video. I mean, really tight group, so good job.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as this or the Smith & Wesson 340 PD, I would go with this. I think that the 340 PD, because it has a titanium cylinder and you can't shoot any ammo less than 125 grain, I think that's a loss, in my opinion, right?
Well, that makes this one a little bit more versatile.
Yeah.
And hopefully the stainless steel cylinder will hold up better for longer term shooting.
Yeah, and hopefully the Smith & Wesson M&P 340 cylinder will hold up longer than the titanium cylinder. Like, because I've heard stories of titanium cylinders having flame cutting issues and just eroding. So that's not good. And I also love the front night sight feature on this revolver. The next gun is my only 45 that I own, and that is the P227 SAS Gen 2. Alright, you guys now know the backstory on the P227 SAS and how I traded up to it. This is a fantastic 45, and this is my only 45 that I own. Like I said before, it is just an awesome gun. It really is. The double action trigger on it is so smooth. Let me show you real quick. I mean, it is just wonderful. And I think that's because the 6-hour custom shop did a little work on it. The single action is just amazing also. This has the SRT trigger. And so does the Blackwater Tactical.
Yeah, it's hard to say which one for sure has the best trigger of all the SIGs, but I gotta tell you that particular SIG 227 SAS has to be, if it's not the best, it's right up there.
Yeah. And then my two striker fired pistols, my Walther PPQ in 40 and my Walther PPQ in 9mm. Both these pistols have the BT guide rod, just in case you guys were wondering. As you can see right there. In my opinion, the Walther PPQ is one of the best striker-fired pistols on the market, and obviously that's why I own these two, because I think that they are the best, in my opinion. What do you think of them?
Like I said before, we own 5 of them, so obviously everyone in our family thinks very highly of them, and so do I. It's just a great pistol. The Walther PPQ in 9mm I've suggested to many new people who are looking at guns.
New gun owners.
Yeah, new gun owners. It's just a perfect gun for new gun owners, along with the Glock 19 or the 6-hour P320. I think all of them are great if you want a semi-automatic that doesn't have extra controls and things to worry about, and decockers and exterior safeties, and
because it's got a simple manual of arms.
Yeah, they're just terrific. So yeah. The Walther, the 6-hour P320, or the Glock 19. You know, pick which one you like best. Take a look at them at the gun shop, and you know, I tell people, pull the trigger on each one at the gun shop like 10 or 15 times. Hold it in your hand. Which one do you like better?
Yeah.
Because that's how you make your decision.
So the other gun that I know I haven't really shown up close yet is the 6-hour P225. This gun is an amazing pistol. Obviously, this is the West German made one that I did my unboxing of a few months ago. This gun has 50 rounds through it as of right now. We are planning on putting a few more rounds through it and making a full-length shooting video on it. I know some of you guys told me not to shoot it, but I can't help myself.
Yeah. This is the one that's 25 years old, right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing, guys, how good that trigger is. I only put 2 magazines through it when we fired it, and it's incredibly good. And it just has an incredible trigger on it. It's very fun to shoot. First time I've ever fired one, and you can tell that these group of pistols are definitely related. And it's amazing how good this one is, even though it's over 20 years old, compared to, you know, the newest offerings.
Yeah. And if you guys want to see what the single action is like, I'll show you right now. The reset is unbelievable, how it just pushes your finger right forward. It's nice and audible, and you can feel it.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing pistol.
Yeah. Well, you guys, that's my handgun collection. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, we haven't really done many videos like this before, so...
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about doing handgun collection videos before, so we'll see how this one comes out and see how you guys like it. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, your Second Amendment is worth protecting.